became a show of shame broadcast around the world on regular and social media. Everybody has been watching the television, have been seeing what is happening. Our concern hinges on the need for both parties to work within the ambit of the law of the Federal Republic of Nigeria to avoid subjecting the war on corruption in the country to further odium in the eyes of right-thinking people, as well as to do our own bit to avert the ongoing and needless overheating of our polity. After a careful review of the issue at stake, we have deemed it appropriate to hold this press briefing in an attempt to separate the facts of the matter from fiction and the sensational media reportage of the issues. As we chart a return to the process, to due process and the rule of law, hopefully with the support of both parties. Kindly note that beyond clarifications of murky details sought from reputable sources on both sides, we have not discussed our positions with either party. Our conclusions are primarily premised on a literature review of the many court processes and allied documents on the matter that are conspicuously in the public domain. We deploy our legal team and other advisors to scrutinize these documents alongside the views of the many individuals, several of them seasoned legal practitioners and law academics who have commented on it in the media and in the public domain in general. Accordingly, and without prejudice to any person or process whatever, we hereby present our objective assessment of the key facts in the matter based on our own investigations. There was a thorough investigation and conclusions to the gentlemen of the press here assembled for your further interrogation. Fact number one, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission has not extended to Mr. Bello the customary investigation to visit her offices. For the purposes of assisting her in any investigations, we could also not find evidence anywhere, no matter how remote, where the Commission has asserted that she did extend such an invitation to him. We do know that the Commission will usually send an invitation letter and often several reminders to a respondent in any petition before even seeking warrant of arrest, and certainly long before taking drastic actions like the raid she conducted last Thursday. It would therefore help the process of understanding and resolving this matter if the EFCC can assist us by making publicly available their letters of invitation to citizen Yahaya Bello, since he shared the toga of immunity upon his departure from office as the governor of Kogi State. Fact number two, the attempt by officers of the EFCC to arrest Alhaji Bello is a flagrant disregard of a substituting court order that comprehensively bars her from doing so based on a determination that the actions in the entire circumstances of the case amounts to actual and threatened breach of sundry of his fundamental human rights. If the EFCC is currently at the appeal court to challenge that substituting order of the High Court of Kogi State, and the appellate court has insisted that parties should maintain the status quo pending the determination of the appeal in the appeal court. We are convinced that the EFCC has breached both the principle of sanctity of court orders and pendency of suits by her subsequent actions. This informs our conclusion that EFCC raid on Yahaya Bello's residence at number 9 Benghazi Street, Zone 4, Wuse, Abuja, on Wednesday, April 17, 2024, is in disobedience of soliciting orders of courts and practice procedure, making it both regrettable and aberration under the rule of law. To be sure, the EFCC, hours after its siege on Yahaya Bello's residence, had gone viral in the media, produced a warrant of arrest for Mr. Bello from a federal high court Yet it is our constitution that being later in time to the subsequent order of the High Court of Kogi and pending appeal that the EFCC have filed at the appeal court to stay action in SEM, that warrant offers little support to them. Fact number 3. The sundry allegations of embezzlement of a whopping sum of 80.2 billion naira by EFCC against Alhaji Yahaya Bello is poorly presented and appears to be politically motivated. The EFCC, under the leadership of Abdul Rashid Bawa, former chairman of the commission, has previously accused Alhaji Bello of hiding a whopping sum of 20 billion naira being bailout money due to Kogi State in a Sterling Bank account and for his own aggrandizement and personal enrichment. From 2022, when it first became breaking news at the instance of the EFCC, till today, the agency could not substantiate that particular allegation against Alhaji Bello in any court of law with the same energy with which it tried and found him guilty of it in the media. As it is, those allegations seem to have evaporated with exit of Bawa as chairman, while new allegations have surfaced under the newest leadership. The EFCC originally alleged that 80.2 billion naira embezzlement occurred in September 2015, except that we will put the alleged offense several months before Alhaji Bello assumed office for the first time as Kogi State Governor, having not been an official or servant of the Kogi State government in any capacity prior to then. Perhaps confronted with the incongruity of that accusation, the commission later amended the date to February 26th, that is just 3 weeks after he assumed office, and with time, the record showed that his administration was yet to collect his first federal allocation. The anti-corruption coalition will really appreciate deeper insight from the anti-corruption agency on the mechanics of these charges. The inconsistency in the allegation by the EFCC against Alhaji Bello clearly shows that the allegation lacks substance. Moreover, the EFCC has continued a sensational media trial of Alhaji Yahaya Bello with media releases in staccato fashion that call to question how they serve the interests of justice in the matter. Fact number 4. We have also searched diligently and have not come across any evidence of words or actions by the former governor which suggests that he feels himself to be above the law. Instead, he and his lawyers have consistently maintained that he is to be seen as under the protection of the law via the order of the High Court and the pending appeal. We agree that both proceedings presupposes that parties ought to maintain the status quo until the appeal court has had the chance to bring back a verdict either way. It therefore seems to us that during the incident at number 9 Benghazi Street, Zone 4, Wuse, Abuja, on Wednesday, April 17, 2024, the FCC was the one breaking the law, while Yahaya Bello and the crowd of citizens gathered at the scene, whom the commissioner later vilified as thugs in one of her press statements. We are actually the ones being law-abiding. The former governor of Kogi State comes across as an abrasive personality, but to our surprise, our research has shown that in all the instances in which Yahaya Bello has hit the news, he has either been vindicated by the cause, by the passage of time, or by the benefit of hindsight. In particular, while his divergent views from the mainstream of the party on a number of national issues, while he's still sitting as governor of Kogi State, may have portrayed him as stubborn, his independent views on such national issues as the COVID-19, Naira design policy, and political zoning have stood the test of time. We are also positive that his current refusal to be intimidated while under the protection of the court will not only survive scrutiny by posterity, but it will enable our jurisprudence, create precedents that will succeed our countless citizens into the future. Fact number 6, as anti-corruption NGOs, we are intrigued by several aspects of Yahaya Bello's time in office, which completely negate the popular perception of him as a corrupt and degenerate leader for Kogi State. For instance, during our research into this press release, we came across information in the Punch of 14 July 2021 that shocked us. He's apparently the only governor the World Bank Group in Nigeria has openly commended in an official letter after he returned a whopping $4.63 million surplus funds to the bank, following the completing of a joint project under the Nigeria Erosion and Watershed Management Project, New Map. We also discovered to our consternation that Kogi State, under his leadership, consistently emerged in the top percentile of the state's fiscal transparency, accountability, and sustainability Stephens Index, even scoring 100% on all indices in 2020, as reported in the post of 2nd November 2020 and many other media platforms. We now suspect that it is such principled stance on issues against persons and entities deemed untouchable or uncrossable, like the present impasse with the EFCC, driven by the massive media bliss that usually attends such single narratives, which has given him unfairly, in our opinions, such a spicy reputation. Conclusion, gentlemen of the press. Beyond Alhaji Bello, we are interested in every law-abiding citizen of Nigeria, no matter he or her social status, whether you're a former governor, whether you're a former senator, should enjoy the protection of our cause without being intimidated, or even as a single citizen, or victimized by persons or agencies using the power of state coercion on our behalf. We conclude by advocating that if the fundamental human rights of the ex-governor of Kogi State, Yahaya Bello, are protected in the matter by the administration of his in this matter by the administration of His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GSFR, then we are all of us so much nearer to a world in which the inalienable rights guaranteed to us under Chapter 4 and other parts of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, as amended, cannot be trampled upon in the case of any citizen. We urge you, gentlemen of the press, to boldly interrogate the facts presented above in order to arrive at your own informed opinions about the ongoing impasse between the EFCC and Alhaji Yahaya Bello, and thereafter make the effort to educate our citizens honestly. Thank you for coming.